Aloha, welcome to Chappy's Tiki Bar. This episode, we got best tropical destination stories. I'm going to make an apple pie cocktail. Also, Appies with Chappy by the lake. I'm going to make Santa Maria Boneless Ribs. And then I'm going to make a suffering bastard cocktail. And man, did that bastard suffer. Coming right up on Chappy's Tiki Bar. Aloha, welcome to Chappy's Tiki Bar. I'm Chappy. This is Mookie. We got a great episode today. I'm making some boneless ribs. They're actually the ribs I made on my Trooper episode, so please check out my tribute to Trooper. They're called the Santa Maria Ribs, and they're named after the Santa Maria song by Trooper. I say they're so good, you say, Santa Maria, these are good ribs. But anyways, we're going to start things off with best tropical destination stories. So if you have any good tropical destination stories, send them to chappinestikibar@yahoo.com. I'm going to get Mookie to summon the tiki drums for best tropical destination stories. So here we go. All right, Mookie, the drums are over there. No, to the left. Never mind. All right, so this week's best tropical destination story takes us to South Beach in Miami, Florida, Miami Beach. So it was back in my cruise ship days, so this is like a million years ago. But I was working on the cruise ships. We were actually doing a dry dock, which means the ship is docked and they do renovations. So we had the whole week off. So I was in South Beach, right on Ocean Drive. It's very iconic. You see it in all the photos and postcards. So I was at the Clevelander. The Clevelander is a hotel, but it's a very famous bar and nightclub. At night, they put plexiglass over the pool and turn it into a dance floor. It's a very busy nightclub. Now, I was there just during the day, so it was pretty quiet. So I was just having a drink outside by the pool at the bar. There was hardly anyone there, just me and my girlfriend. I remember the bartender was making fun of me because I was ordering Malibu pineapple. So even back then, I liked my tropical drinks. So we're just sitting at the bar, and this guy comes up to the bar and gives the bartender a brown paper bag, and he says, "Can you please give this to Carlos?" And I could tell the bartender takes the bag, and it's like quite heavy, and he's like weighing it with his hands, and then he just kind of looks at the guy, and the guy goes, "It's a gun." So the bartender seemed a little bit surprised, but not overly surprised. Being from Canada, like, we don't have a lot of guns, but I was a big fan of Miami Vice growing up, so I just found it fascinating. But that's my best tropical destination story from South Beach, Florida at the Clevelander Bar. All right, so I'm going to head over to the Tiki Bar and make a drink. Today I'm going to make an apple pie cocktail from my bartender's guide. So stay tuned for that. All right, come on over to the Tiki Bar. Have a seat. I'm going to mix you a drink. We're going to do an apple pie. So I got my trusty cocktail shaker here. Just going to add a little bit of ice. All right, so I got my bartender's guide. 1 ounce of rum. I have some Captain Morgan's dark rum. And then it says a ½ ounce of sweet vermouth. And it says 1 teaspoon of apple brandy. So I happen to have some apple brandy right here. And then 1 ounce of lemon juice. Fresh lemon. Oh yeah, love fresh lemons. And a ½ teaspoon of grenadine. This is actually homemade grenadine. I made it for my Nolans episode where I made hurricanes with grenadine made from scratch. So watch my Nolans episode. Recipe doesn't call for it, but I actually have some homemade cinnamon simple syrup. I actually made this on my Chicago episode where I made a naked ape. So the recipe doesn't call for cinnamon simple syrup. I actually made this with brown sugar, but I figure apple pie, cinnamon, it'd be a nice touch. So I'm just going to put a splash of that in. what the heck, I got it anyways. We're gonna give it a shake. I have a nice tropical glass. For garnish, I'm gonna use a fresh apple. Now, if you're gonna use a fresh apple for garnish, put a little bit of lemon on it, just so the apple doesn't turn brown. And that is an apple pie cocktail. So coming up, we got Appies with Chappy by the lake. Check it out.
Appies with Chappy by the lake.
Aloha and welcome to another edition of Appies with Chappy by the lake. Today for appetizers, I have my boneless Santa Maria ribs. You can see how I made them on my Tribute to Trooper episode. Next up, my Santa Maria Boneless Rib Sauce. So it's just 2 ingredients, KC Masterpiece Original Barbecue Sauce and Dr. Pepper. KC Masterpiece Original Barbecue Sauce comes from, you guessed it, Kansas City. I once went with my buddy Rosie to Kansas City to watch some baseball games. I was there for 9 days. Actually had barbecue 14 times in the 9 days. I think the only fruit or vegetable we had the whole trip was the tomato-based barbecue sauce. So KC Masterpiece is by far my favorite barbecue sauce. Just stirring in a little Dr. Pepper. And there is my 6 boneless racks of ribs. It's come off the smoker. I put it on the grill. And I smoked them for about 4 hours. And then I grilled them again to, same as the wings, an internal temperature of 165 Fahrenheit. Now I'm going to let one of those bad boys rest. You want to let all meat rest. And I didn't sauce it on the grill because there's so much sugar in the Dr. Pepper and the actual barbecue sauce. So I'm just, it would probably burn on the grill. So I'm just saucing it as I'm letting the meat rest. Call them Santa Maria ribs because they're so good. You'll say, Santa Maria, these are good. So here they are. You can see I got a little bit of a smoke ring there. Oh, Mookie's trying to escape. So I got a little bit of a smoke ring there. That just means if you know anything about barbecue and you see pink on the outside, that's a good thing. It means they're well smoked. Delicious. So I got my boneless smoked Santa Maria ribs. Now we just need a drink to go with our Appies by the lake. So today I'm making a suffering bastard. I got my trusty Smuggler's Cove recipe book. So it says suffering bastard, created at the Shapard Hotel in Cairo. So it's 4 ounces of ginger beer, ½ ounce of fresh lime, a ½ ounce of Demerara syrup. See here how I made my Demerara syrup. Aloha! So today we're making some Demerara syrup. I'm using it from the recipe, the book Smuggler's Cove, Exotic Cocktails, Rum, and the Cult of Tiki by Martin Cate. This recipe makes 32 ounces. That seemed like a lot of syrup. So I'm gonna scale it down to half. The original recipe calls for 2 cups of water, 1 cup of Demerara sugar, and 3 cups of granulated sugar. So I'm going to cut that in half. I'll use 1 cup of water. I'll use a half cup of Demerara sugar and 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. So it says, bring the water to a boil in a saucepan over high heat. Add the Demerara sugar and stir vigorously with a whisk. And that's until the sugar's dissolved. About 1 minute. Water should become clear, so you can see at the bottom of the pot. So add the granulated sugar and stir vigorously until dissolved. About 1 minute. Immediately remove from the heat and let cool. So it says the syrup will keep refrigerated for several weeks. So I got my pan. I'm just going to add a little water. I'll get this on the stove, and then we're going to add the sugar, and hopefully we'll have some syrup. A lot of the recipes in this Smuggler's Cove book call for Demerara syrup. So we'll do a few of those recipes in some upcoming episodes as well. All right, so that's my Demerara syrup. 1 ounce of gin, 1 ounce of brandy, and 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. So we'll get started on the Suffering Bastard from the Shapard Hotel in Cairo. So I have a nice big glass of ice. We're going to start with 4 ounces of ginger beer. This is actually Trader Joe's ginger beer that I got in the States. It's a non-alcoholic sparkling beverage. A half ounce of fresh lime. And a 1/4 ounce of my Demerara syrup. So it's just a tiny bit, just to sweeten up the lime, I believe. 1 ounce of gin. And 1 ounce of brandy. Ooh, that's a little bit more than an ounce. And I have some Angostura bitters. I use this in a lot of tiki drinks. 2 dashes. 1, 2. All right, we'll give it a little stir. And I got a lemon wedge to garnish. So give it a try. Oh, very nice. Yeah, not too sweet, very refreshing. So that's a Suffering Bastard to have with my boneless Santa Maria ribs. That's Appies with Chappy by the lake. Thanks for watching another edition of Chappy's Tiki Bar. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and give me a like. This is Chappy saying life is hard. That's just the way it goes. But sometimes it goes the other way. See you next time on Chappy's Tiki Bar.